Hey everyone, in this video we're going to meet up with Natasha and check out her beach-themed tiny house. She's been living in it for over a year now, and she decided to move from an apartment into a tiny house with the goal of eventually having some more financial freedom. She had it built by a local builder and they did a beautiful job, and she also found a convenient and legal place to park it. So let's go check it out. We want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. We'll give you more information about them at the end, plus a link to a free 2-month trial.
Growing up, we all have instilled in us that we're supposed to leave the family home and then buy a house. But I never wanted to do that for two reasons. One, I never knew where I wanted to permanently be. And two, I didn't want to be broke for 25 plus years. So when the tiny house movement kind of started several years ago, I was watching them on YouTube and I thought they were the cutest little things. Watching one of these videos, the man mentioned how much the tiny house costs. And I thought, well, wow. One, it's movable, so I can move it and not be set in a certain spot if I didn't like it. And two, I can completely afford it and not be cash strapped for the next 25 years. So after watching pretty much every single YouTube video there is on tiny houses, I put together my ideal tiny house. In 2016, I went to the Tiny House Festival in Quebec, and I ended up deciding to work with one of the builders there, and they built me my dream tiny house. I've been living in this house now for over a year, and it is approximately 275 square feet inside with the 2 lofts. Since I designed it myself, it's exactly the layout that I was hoping for. It's big and spacious, and I love that it's white because it makes it feel bigger. My absolute favorite part of the entire house is my loft. I just find it so cozy and snuggly up there. So this is my bedroom. This is a 16-inch mattress, and you can see that sitting on it, I still have lots of headspace, so no issues there. This is Igor. I am cat sitting for a friend, and he loves it up here just as much as I do. A lot of people who know me know that I love animals and I will always have animals, and they often ask me about having an animal in the tiny house, and it's completely doable. There are so many nooks and crannies for a cat to get into, and I have a really great way of kind of hiding the litter box so it's not out in the open, but having pets in a tiny house works great. I knew that I wanted to make this a closet, or at least have storage space up here, so I've got these wonderful a.k.a. cubbies that holds towels and bed sheets and whatnot. I have a little portable air conditioner if I need it. I haven't really yet. I've got a great little window fan that I put in the window that pulls in a lot of the cool night air. For electricity, I have your typical 30 amp service here at the park. For heat, I use propane. I have a 100% propane heater, which is really great. And for water, I have town water during the warmer months, and then during the winter when they shut off the water, I have a holding tank that I can fill up. It will last me a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, but I do shower at work, so that definitely helps. If I was to shower at home, it would probably last me about a week or less. I have a bathtub, which is only 5 inches shorter than your traditional bathtub, but I have a bathtub in here. Under here is where the washing machine would go, but I have my litter box and my dirty laundry. For laundry, I do visit my brother once a week, and I get it done there while I take care of his kids. And I've got my closet over here on this side, which fits everything, including vacuum cleaner. I knew that I did not need a very big kitchen because I am not a very big chef, to be honest. So I designed a very small kitchen, and I have enough counter space for me. Right up here, I have my cooktop. It is an induction cooktop. I just stick it here, plug it in when I need to, and I cook and I'm good to go. And then when I'm not using it, it fits perfectly right up here. And then if I want to cook or bake anything, I have an induction oven in there. And I just use it in there. It works perfectly. I have an apartment-sized fridge, which is all I need. It fits everything in here. And then I have a kitchen island that I got that adds a little more counter space should I need it. Also a little extra storage, and it's on wheels, so I can move it out of the way if I want to do some yoga here, or if I want to bring it closer to the kitchen and do some prep work. I have a tiny little kitchen table that also works as a desk. It flips down as well. It's an IKEA table that I can lay it flat if I want to get it out of the way. And that leads right to my 6-foot couch, which can be an actual spare bed if I wanted it to be. Lots of storage underneath. You just lift up here, you lift up the plywood, and there's storage underneath. So I've always been interested in the tiny house movement, and I knew I wanted to do it, but there was really no point getting started with finding a builder and getting it built without knowing where I was going to put it. And I didn't want to do the illegal route, so I waited until I found somewhere where I knew I could put it legally. So I parked my house in a year-round trailer park where I rent the land, and that includes the water, but it doesn't include the hydro. For the last year, I would say the hardest part was the winter, and not because of the house itself, but just getting used to having propane heat. I've never had propane heat before, so getting used to that. I did run out of propane a couple of times. The first time was my own fault. I wanted to see how long a tank would last me so that I could prepare for the future. The second time and the third time that it happened, I was having a problem with one of my tanks, and my backup tank was empty when it switched over. So I came home and my house was 8 degrees. Not fun. So that was a little bit of a learning curve. I also had a little bit of a learning curve with my toilet. I do have a separate toilet, and the liquid line goes out to the septic tank, and the solids are collected and emptied via me. But I did not know that I had to protect the liquid line. And so the first cold snap that we had, it did freeze and back up and overflow. So what I learned with the toilet is that I should put a heat tape on it. So I got a heat tape and I wrapped it around not only the liquid line for the toilet, but the gray water for the house. I hadn't had an issue with that one, but I'm pretty sure it was just a matter of time. I was always under the impression that in the winter, tiny houses have an issue with moisture and mold, but I actually found I had the exact opposite issue. My house was extremely dry, to the point where I actually went out and got a little device that reads the temperature and humidity to find out what was going on. I actually had my wood, because I'm all wood, I had my wood shrink and cause gaps in between it because it was so dry. I ended up getting a humidifier to help correct the issue, but that wasn't at all the impression I was under that I would have for my first winter. There's just a few little things like that to get used to that I'm not used to coming from apartment renting my entire life. I was told when I bought the house that I should really skirt it for the winter, because if you don't skirt it, you'll get a lot of wind and a lot of snow underneath your house, and it will keep your house colder than it should be. So I skirted it, but then I was also told that in the warmer months you want to remove the skirting so that it doesn't get moldy and wet under there. So what I did is I just removed a portion of the skirting, and I put in this little screen, and I have one at the other end as well, so it allows the air to go through, no animals to get in, but it keeps it nice and dry, and also helps keep the house cooler in the summer as well, because then you don't have that moisture and that dampness coming up and all that funky stuff. I recommend that if you're going to go this route, that you save a lot of money before buying a tiny house, because if you don't, then you're going to be in debt no different than a traditional house, just a lot less, obviously. So I did not save my money before buying this house, and I am in debt, but I have a much shorter period of time before paying it off, and that is exciting, because then once the house is paid off, I can travel, I can do whatever I want. I would like to retire in this house, which is why I got stairs and not a ladder, was to make this long term. I don't plan on leaving it. I love that it forces me not to have a lot of stuff. I know that I've been places with friends and, seen something really interesting, but I literally have nowhere to put it, so I don't, and I didn't need it. It also forces me to realize what I truly do need and what I want, and that there's a big difference between the two. So I really like that. I also love the fact that it's mine. I own it. I love that I can move it, that, if I don't like the neighbors, or I don't like the location, I can literally pick it up and drive it somewhere else and park it there.
I hope you enjoyed checking out Natasha's tiny house. If you're interested, you can follow her tiny house journey on Instagram at mytinybeachhouse. We also want to thank Skillshare again for sponsoring this video. They're an online learning community with thousands of classes about all kinds of different subjects. We love them because they seem to have a really good focus on courses that will help you become a social media influencer or start your own business, whether that's online or any other kind of business. So they have classes about how to make your own logo, how to be a freelancer, and even how to edit videos. And there's a lot of other subjects too. I recently took one of their classes about how to become a better storyteller because we're meeting people every single week and we're always looking for ways to improve on our storytelling skills. Skillshare is offering our viewers a free 2-month trial to check out the courses they have to offer. The first 500 people to use this link will get the free 2-month trial, and we'll also put the link in the description of the video as well. If you decide you want to keep using Skillshare after the free 2-month trial, the membership fee is less than $10 a month with an annual subscription, so it's a really affordable way to keep learning new skills. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.